Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Perfect Pixel podcast, once again hosted by myself, Heapings, as well once again joined by Frosty. This week we're going to go through a community member's list of their top 10 stickers for 2021.
Starting off at number 10, they have the Godsent foil from the 2020 RMR capsules.
Notes from the user about this sticker are that the Atlanta foil is doing very well, and this being their only other foil, that they believe that this foil will do very well in the next 12 months. I really don't have an opinion on this. I don't think that the Godsent foil is going to be an all-star. I don't see the Godsent foil RMR being an all-star performer in the next 12 months. It's something that it took probably 2 or 3 years for the Atlanta to really start to take off, and it has really done quite well. But it's something that the Godsent foil, now that there's a Godsent Gold, I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure on this sticker to do well, but the holos will do better from the RMR overall. But it's just not going to be an all-star performer this year. I think it's great if you can get some at a really low price to hold on to them for 3 or 4 years. That's an absolute win in my books. But we're looking at a 12-month period. What's going to do well this year? I just don't think it has the stamina to do it. What do you think?
Similar to your ideas, I think Atlanta Gold definitely looks super unique. And I think the RMR, there's other stickers that look possibly even better, such as a Na'vi. I think these are go-to.
I don't know exactly the parameters used for how this list was created for top 10. This might be a penny for penny return on investment. So they're looking at what the exact price of it is, what they could have bought them for. So I'm seeing they could have bought them for $1.40, but they were as high as $4.16. Now, if you bought them at $1.40, you're probably in great shape right now. You're probably happy with your investment, and the RMR is still going on at the moment of recording. I don't see at the current pricing, which is this was quoted at $3.10 as current pricing. I don't think you can do anything with buying them at $3.10 right now. But I think at $1.40, they're a great pickup and winner for this year. But at $3.10, you're going to have a difficult time making your money this year. The next one down on his list is the Olaf Meister Paper 2017 Atlanta. Now, this is going back to the number 10, the 2017 Atlanta foil from Godsent. This is going to a signature autograph paper. Paper being the base version of the sticker, if you're new to the investment world. That is kind of the term that was kind of coined for a base version of a sticker. The Olaf Meister is now officially off of phase. Since the Blast Premier has ended, this might be a good option to take a look at. What do you think?
I think, especially with his closing performances, definitely still one of the top in the CS scene. Even though he's off of phase, he said he wanted to continue in CS, but he could always retire, and he probably will in the near future. So I think this is definitely going to be a pretty good pickup. I think this is definitely going to be a great sticker to have, especially because the Atlanta looks very nice with the orange background. One concern I have is that his autograph itself isn't super standout. It doesn't say the whole Olaf Meister name. It just says Olaf M.
Yeah, the only issue I have with that is that the Olaf Meister sticker was when he was playing for FaZe in Atlanta, even though when he was playing for Fnatic, I should say. Then he retired off of FaZe. I see it as being there was a rumor that he may begin coaching a team, and that was kind of the end of his playing career, but he's just not leaving for another game. He's continuing in the CS scene, but he's not going to continue to compete. So it'd be interesting to see if he comes back in as a coach for a contender team. That, I think, could really bring in and draw a lot of prominence to this sticker. I think it's a smart pickup to hold one or two, but I wouldn't go heavy in investing on them. I think it's a nice sticker to have more in your inventory, just as something nice to have, but it's not a go nuts, go crazy, great investment type of sticker.
And another thing I see for this sticker is that it's gonna probably very timing based. If you just one or two, you probably want to sell like the peak if he announces his retirement as a player.
Yeah, exactly. You don't necessarily want to follow every single person that you're buying stickers from on Twitter super closely because, I mean, that takes effort. Basically, what you'd be having to do is to watch exactly for if you made an announcement on a retirement announcement, if he's coaching, to go and try to sell at a peak. It's not something that is a sticker that's going to have consistent people lined up waiting to pay money for it. Looking at the buy orders of this sticker, definitely go and try to buy one off of buy order when possible. But the buy orders are quite a bit lower than the actual sell price. It's not something that you'd really want to invest too heavily into because it might be difficult to liquidate when the time comes.
Moving on to number 8, we have the Pimp paper, also from 2017 Atlanta.
I think he just likes Pimp. This doesn't make any sense to me. Pimp has always kind of been like a meme streamer. I think that this is simply made the list because it's a weird exception to the kind of the rules. It's probably only up there because he's got followers that watch him that also own his sticker. In terms of Pimp's analysis, I do enjoy his commentary, but he's no Semler or any of those other commentators. He doesn't have that kind of ingrown knowledge built in. I think it's not a win for me. I like the concept of it. It's taking a risk for sure. I have a great sticker, and it might pay off, but I just like to go for more solid opportunities rather than something that might be as risky as going for a Pimp.
He definitely is like pretty well known, and if he does really become like one of the main talents, I think he's also a commentator as well.
But I mean, what is an analyst and a commentator? Like, why do I want a sticker of the guy that's commentating the event? Right? That's kind of the logic that I'm putting myself into. You really have to hope that it's like having a Hiko sticker on your skin, right? Hiko is known for a streamer. People enjoy his stream, therefore they want a Hiko sticker. Pimp is the same sort of boat, but I think that with the pricing being up there already because it's an Atlanta 2017 and it is such a good looking sticker, I think all of that price is already built into the sticker, but I think that it doesn't really make it that high up for me in terms of, I think that is a great sticker to pick up if you've got an extra $8 lying around, no doubt about it. But do you have the mindset to go out and invest and put effort in to decide that Pimp is the right sticker for you? That's my thought on that.
Definitely, people are gonna be like applying this as more of a meme. Also, maybe also a bit if they're like fans of Pimp.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know the user base of Pimp's stream that well. Maybe this community member does know it a little bit better than I do. That just really depends on how you perceive that information and what that demographic is for how Pimp's thing is going to grow. And then, yeah, you're looking at the meme factor of it saying Pimp and you wanting to have to spell, like to write something on your gun with the word Pimp in it.
Just for context, a Hiko Atlanta 2017 paper is only $4. It's probably like more well known. Does have like more famous clips as well.
Yeah, Hiko's kind of got the more attitude towards like I got it. I mean, he had the whole gambling conspiracy thing as well, part of which didn't help. But there was Pimp would kind of stayed out of that, but it's an interesting pick. It's interesting to see that somebody is thinking about that. It's not on my books. It doesn't make my list, but it definitely is an interesting choice, and I'm going to be interested to see where it is in a year. That's one of the things about having all these lists and having this audio record is that we can go back in a year's time and be able to take a look and say, this is what this person thought. How did this person do over a year's time? Let's go take a look.
Moving on to number 7, we have Berlin 2019 Simple Foil.
I mean, if it follows the same trend that the Kato has done, it would make sense to me. I just don't think it's going to follow the same trend as the Kato has done. I think the Kato has a lot more room to grow than the Berlin. I think the Kato just made it out on this list outside of his price range. So I guess it becomes a question of, is it a budget pickup? Is it a budget item that you can get for under $10 that if it follows the same trend of the Katowice and the other foils, that it becomes a $20 skin over the next 12 months. Now, part of that is we kind of are waiting with this deadline date of October or November. It depends on how the pandemic is alleviated as well. We'll see how the CS scene comes back for professionals at that point. We're going to have, even right now with Blast Premier, there was some other tournament this past weekend. It is still alive and well. It's just there's a lot of money being lost still in the CS scene because they're not playing live events. So it'll be interesting. I think Simple is definitely going to come back just as strong, but I think that you got to look to pick up a Simple Foil cheap if you're going to pick one up. Simple Foil 2019 Berlin, pick it up cheap. I would go 30 or 40 buy orders below the top buy order to see if you can pick one up, because there's lots out there, lots of Berlin autograph capsules out there still. I'd be careful with that one, but it's worthwhile, once again, taking a look at it in a year's time, because maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like this is definitely good for me. At least it's going to be a longer hold than just a year. It's especially because it's the Berlin, and we're probably going to see more consistent majors every year after COVID over. If you're able to pick one up right now at around the $7 price point, you could see good potential if you hold it for maybe like 2-3 years.
Yeah, but once again, we don't know. We don't have a lot of context to this list either. He gave us this list with the idea that we would give him our honest opinion on it, and we don't know what his time frame is. Maybe if his time frame is 1 year, maybe he's only looking to make 1.5 on these stickers. If you make 1.5 in a year, I mean, that's not amazing or crazy money. I mean, you can do that on other items, but maybe that's enough for him. That's what he's happy with.
He hasn't gotten number 1 in the world 2 years in a row now. Everyone still knows the name Simple.
Yeah, my only concern with that is that he loses that top spot. If he becomes less of the all-star player that he has been for the last couple of years. Like, I remember when Pasha Biceps and you had Neo and everything, they were top spots. You couldn't, like, if you got their sticker, you were amazing. You were set. Now if you get their sticker, you're kind of bummed out, and it's like, oh, well, whatever. It's kind of that sort of thing, and that's my concern with the Simple foil, is that there's tons of them, even old ones that are rare. I think those ones will go down in value, and these ones will really just tank if he doesn't keep up being the top spot or being in the top couple players in the world. Number 6 on the list is the Navi foil from RMR 2020. So he has got, this is the second sticker on his list. Once again, he has the foil on his list. Once again, I don't see the foils doing as well as the holos are definitely less rare than the foils, but the holos, in my opinion, look a lot better with their kind of swirl pattern that they have. This is very risky. Once again, we are still in the unknown, whether or not there's going to be a sale, whether or not there's going to be a discontinuation of the stickers prior to anything happening. I think that this is a risky one. This is one that I think it might be a good investment, but I would wait and hold off and not purchase anything right now. Simply because we don't know what's happening with this yet. Otherwise, the sticker itself, I'm more than happy that it's on this list. I think it's a great option to pick up. I just don't think that the current pricing is the accurate pricing, because there are a lot of things that could put it into jeopardy.
Out of the yellow colored stickers out of RMR, there's basically only Navi and Godsent. Godsent, the like kind of border slash outline thing, kind of fades between a yellow and a white. So I think Navi definitely takes the number one spot for me. My only concern is that foils, like especially from RMR, really look just too similar to papers. And so even though they're gonna be rare, like keeping said, I think hollows might do a little bit better.
5 on this list is the big 2019 Katowice paper. This one makes the list simply because this is a meme sticker. For anything that is a craft that they're making, they use the word big. It is more expensive than the hollow because in the hollow you can't read the word big. So people go with the paper. This is, I don't like this even that this is even on the list. This is that market is so varied. There's not people that are buying it because it's a big. They're a big fan of big or whatever. Sorry for the pun. But it's the reason that they're buying it is to do like named crafts and stuff. Yes, there will be a supply run on this at some point. That there will be less supply of these stickers because so many have been used for crafts. I just don't think it's gonna occur yet.
Even though they had like their huge run at the beginning of the online era, we got all the way to first in the world in HLTV rankings. They've definitely dropped off. One of the main reasons for that could be they don't have star fraggers. Like, don't get me wrong, they're all very solid. I think sometimes they're just like a little behind in terms of firepower in some of their games.
And I wouldn't say it's firepower there. It's not really firepower, but it's strategy. That's usually where the team is the weakest. Everybody's got great aim. It's a matter of how they put together their strategies when they're in difficult rounds, when they're in difficult situations, that they can take the experience to back out and reset and rework a problem. That they have a lot more experience. The big team just doesn't seem to have that. They seem a little jumbled at times, and they just don't set themselves up properly, and that they feel a little bit rushed. And that's, once again, I think, difficult for a team to kind of overcome without putting some big name stars on their team, and it's not something that they can do right now within their organization.
Moving on to number 4 on this list, we have the Sprout Hollow from 2018.
So the Sprout is actually an interesting one. Quantum Bellator was the other team that was kind of the one-year wonder team, with Sprout making it to the Boston tournament. It's something that the Sprout is probably the better looking of the two between Sprout and Quantum Bellator. Sprout is honestly a good pickup at this point. I think that there's a lot of room for these to still grow. They have sold expensive in the past. They're at a pretty discounted rate right now. Once again, still always look to buy them on BuyOrder. But I like the Sprout. I like the look of the logo. I think that it can be a pretty safe pickup and that you can go ahead and invest with ease knowing that there's a good market there.
Like, they're definitely very unique and also green, which helps them out a lot since there's really not that many looking green stickers. They're very unique in their colorway.
Number 3 on this list is something that we both don't think that we like very much. It is the Dignitas 2016 cologne. The Dignitas logo looks really good on the kind of rounder stickers, with the cologne sticker kind of going for the kind of smashed glass sort of look. It doesn't quite... the colors work really nicely, but the image design and the image size, most importantly. One of the things that has really hurt the Cologne 2016 stickers is the actual size of the sticker when it's placed and applied to a weapon. They're very small, which means that you don't see it very well. Luckily, the Dignitas is a simple sticker, so you're not missing a lot of the detail in it. It's just not my cup of tea. It's really not a consistent sticker either in terms of its price. I mean, last year during the hype, it got up to in the $30 range, but now we're once again living back in the kind of $8 to $9 range. It's not something that is, in my books, a good investment. It's not something that I would go for. It's not something that I agree with this being number 3 on the list.
Yeah, so the main problem I see for this is that there's like no actual backing or fan base behind it, and it doesn't help that it's not super colorful or like great looking, I would say. The main reason Dignitas is like well known is the 2014 Hollow and then the Clone 2014 Hollow, which all have like the hollow eyes, which just look really, really cool. And this one is just kind of plain, so it's not quite as good in my books. And then they also did a rebrand where they have a completely new logo, but they're still not like they don't have a very big fan base. They don't have I haven't even heard about them in a while. So, yeah.
It makes me wonder if this person is a Dignitas fan and they've added this to this list to try to say, hey, I'm a fan of this team. Give me your opinion on, is this actually a good investment? And is there actually an idea that this might be the best option? I don't think that this makes this list. I don't think it's a good option. I think it's a developed option. I think that there is room for it to be put on someone's list, that they want to get it as a sticker because they like the team. I don't know that this makes the list for being a sound, solid investment. All right, number 2 on this list is the Astralis paper from Cologne 2016. Now, this is a sticker that actually flip-flops. Like, yes, it's not great that it's from the Cologne 2016. It drops down kind of in its value from that. But once again, this is Astralis being a relevant team that is doing active things right now. It's something that is kind of a unique place. The fact that they are, the way that the Astralis team is put together and built, I really do like. This is a cheap sticker that is getting old enough now that people are going to start wanting it. It's not something that is, I think it's kind of the missed sticker. The sticker that people miss when they're looking at sticker investments. They don't go all the way back to Cologne 2016. I think that there's a possibility that it's a good pickup. Once again, I would do a little bit more research on it. It's not something that's top of my mind for stickers I'm going after. I would look at an Astralis paper from 2018 instead, where possible, rather than the Cologne 2016, just because those have a little bit better prominence on when applied to a gun or when sitting in your inventory. They just feel a little more natural being from the 2018 or being a Katowice 2019 of it.
I agree with that. Astralis themselves are definitely going to be one of the best bets. So many major wins. They still look very strong. All their players came back from medical leaves and stuff. The only problem is the 2016 Cologne, but I think one of the it also can be a good thing as they're kind of like a dark horse.
Yeah, so that's my thought to this, is that they are kind of the dark horse of this older sticker. I mean, it's not a bad pickup for me to pick up a couple of these. That they, as people realize that these are still pretty rare stickers compared to newer stickers, that they're not selling very often. So if you can put a good buy order in place, that you might get one off of buy order. I think that it's the right price point and the right demographic of Astralis starting to do well. You get Astralis to win a tournament here leading up into the major. It becomes a different story for this sticker, and these stickers really start to take off.
Now, at number 1 on this list, we have the Twist paper from 2018 Boston.
So the Twist 2018 paper from Boston, this is actually a graph I can fully agree with. This paper has shown a consistent growth for over the last 4 years of having highs, having lows, but consistently going up. This is anytime I'm looking at a graph, that's the kind of graph I want to see. It's not going sharply up, but it's a consistent rise. There's highs, there's lows in it. That's the kind of graph I like to see for a solid investment. These are now up into the $8 or $9 range, depending on buy orders and what they're listed at. I think that these are a solid, easy pickup. That there's nowhere to go wrong on these. If you can get your hands on multiple of them, I'm all for it. This is definitely an easy money maker in my mind.
Twist moving to FaZe, he's really starting to like look his own. Like especially with like Cold talking about how almost building the team around him as him being the main superstar, fragger kind of guy. He definitely looked way sharper than on Liquid, where he was more kind of had to like hold back more, kind of do the trading, kind of support role. Where now he's really getting to just fully tap them heads.
Once again, this being the Boston tournament, this would have been his first sticker. So once again, having a first sticker hype of a good player, this being a really cheap thing, it'll be interesting to see in the next major where he makes it to. If FaZe does well, this becomes a totally different story of this being way too underpriced of a sticker, and this sticker potentially going 4, 5, 6x up in a short matter of time.
So guys, that's going to be it for today's episode, where we went over a community members list for the top 10 stickers of 2021.
Please leave a comment down below if you disagree with anything, or you want to make your own list of 10 stickers that you want to see potentially reviewed on this channel. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a good week.